Well, hello, 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 and welcome once again to another episode of the Cougarlicious Clubhouse. Today we have some wonderful, wonderful guests, and the Cougarlicious Clubhouse will always feature a woman who stands in her own power, celebrates the divine diva, and enjoys a little eye candy. And today's guests are Skylar Schock, and we're going to be talking to her virtually along with our other guest, Sam Lundsted, who is a very, very favorite Las Vegas comic right here in town. And as for me, well, I'm your host, Donna Joy, and I'm one of those ranting retired baby boomers who refuses to get old. Oh, I refuse to get old. You know, I went to this conference on aging. I walked in, I saw my whole life hot flash before my very eyes. Instead of TED Talks, they had Med Talks. All my life I've been told, don't do drugs because drugs are going to kill you. Now I'm on 14 medications just to keep me alive. Take it away.
Cougarlicious, in my power I rise with every step I take. I light up the skies, celebrating me. I'm a star shining bright, enjoying all the eye candy under the moonlight. Oh, Cougarlicious, watch me take my stand, moving to the beat. Come and take my hand.
Yes, 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 yes. Welcome once again. So glad you decided to join us. And like I said, we have a fabulous, fabulous show waiting for you today. But before we get started, I want to recognize and thank our sponsors, Linder Health Skincare. Yes, that's healthcare for your skin. I've been using it for years and I just love it. And if you go to linderhealth.com/Donna, order some product, they'll send you a free gift. It's just like saying, Donna sent me. So be sure you log on today. And I also want to remind you all to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. We are growing every single week, and I can't thank you enough. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and you're going to be notified for every single episode, so you'll never miss it. And at the end of the show, we're going to be announcing our winners of our sweepstakes giveaway. That's right, our summer sweepstakes giveaway. So when you subscribe, you're automatically entered, and we'll tell you a little bit more about it at the end of the show. But without any further ado, I would like to welcome our guest for today. First, Mr. Sam Lundsted,
Hello.
who is right here in the studio with me. Hi, Sam. It's
Hey.
so good to have you with us.
Good to be here.
Oh, it's wonderful. And of course, we have Skylar Schock, who is visiting us from North Carolina. Hello, Skylar. Oh, it's so good to see you. Oh, you look fabulous. You look so cougarlicious. Absolutely.
The goal always
Always the goal.
cougarlicious.
Oh my goodness. So Skylar, you know, it's so wonderful to see you. I haven't seen you in a couple of months now, at least, right? Last time you were in Vegas. I know you're in North Carolina. Tell us a little about what are you doing? Give us a little bit about what your adventures are.
Yes. Well, first of all, I always say I'm in North Carolina slightly begrudgingly. I wish I was there with y'all in Vegas, but
We miss you.
But I miss it there. I don't miss the heat. I got to tell you. Is it bad out there?
Well, no, it's not bad. Well, it's only like in the 90s today.
It's beautiful. I
Oh,
felt
my
like a
gosh.
fisherman on San Francisco Wharf. It was
Just a
nice
cool
and
breeze of 90.
Yes,
yeah,
that's
a cool
right.
breeze of 90.
A cool, breezy 90-ish kind of day, but no
Yes,
humidity. So
Well, that's
I'll take
true.
it. Yes.
We have the humidity out here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've been keeping busy with a lot of different stuff. Been acting, I do stand-up comedy, and I've actually been very lucky to kind of tour a lot from here in the Southeast market. And I've started recently, I launched a female-driven comedy show called Group Chat Girlies, which is like junior Cougarlicious, I want to say, where it's for just the girlies to talk about like what's going on in the group chat, what are we talking about, who are we talking about, what are we watching.
I love it.
And just, a great space for women to kind of get together and laugh together.
Well, you know, like I said, you could be Cougarlicious at any age. You know,
Yes.
I find that a lot of my followers range from 35 to 65, you know, and it's really at any age. So is this an online group or is this
It's actually a little bit of both. It's both. So we're doing live shows in person, and then we send out an email newsletter every Sunday that's just kind of like a recap of what we're talking about, what like restaurant recommendations to Trader Joe's hacks, just kind of anything and anything that you would talk about in your group chat, really. Funny things that have been recommended to you on the Facebook algorithm, or like Instagram ads you get that don't make sense, and just all of
that's
that kind of
fabulous.
stuff.
We should probably connect, because on Facebook I have the Cougarlicious Clubhouse.
Yes,
and
yes.
we should probably connect our groups somehow.
I
that
would
way.
love that.
You know,
I would love
and
that.
yeah, definitely send me a post, and let's get this going, because Cougarlicious, I mean, it is a movement. It's a movement across the country. That's for sure. Yes.
And I know that the girlies are talking about what's Cougarlicious. Like, what does that mean? And what does it mean to be Cougarlicious?
Well, we could set them straight on that, right? We know
Exactly.
Cougarlicious is a stand in your own power, celebrate the divine diva, and enjoy a little eye candy. And there's nothing wrong with that, don't you think?
Of
Sam?
course, yeah. And Donna, I wanted to ask you as we get this going, is this being filmed?
Yes. Yes.
I thought that because I see the cameras at us.
Yes, yes. Yeah, the cameras are on, and you will be posted.
All right, perfect. I wanted to start it off with a little joke. Is that okay?
Sure.
This is one from my grandpa. It was kind of funny for me. He was a hunter, and there was some quails out, and he said, Sam, what you want to do if you ever want to catch a quail is sprinkle just a little bit of salt on their tail. And I said, well, how would that catch him? And he goes, because if you could get that close to put a little salt on their tail, you might as well just pick them up, It's kind of silly.
Okay, so we don't want to put salt on any lady's tail.
No, we wouldn't do such a
we
thing.
don't do that. We don't.
No. But I do believe there are some ladies that would like some white powder. So, just take that at your own risk.
I love it.
good.
So, Skylar, what type of acting have you been doing? That's because you are a graduate of UNLV. That's how we met, right? We met over at Wise Guys, as so many of us have here in Las Vegas. You were...
Which I just heard that the Arts District one is shutting down. Is that true?
Yes, this Wednesday is going to be the last open mic there. And
which is where we met. Yeah.
Which is where we met. Yes. So you were, the first night I saw Skylar, right? First night I saw you on that stage, I walked right up. I said, "You're going to be a star," right? That's what I said. Yeah, she was great.
And I loved Donna. I remember it was like just from the moment I've met Donna, I was like, and now you're stuck with me forever. And she still is.
And yeah, we're stuck with each other. I think that's the whole thing. So, so you got your degree in a master's in.
I got my master's degree, in acting, and I've done both since graduating. I've done film and TV, and then theater as well. So I kind of whatever, as they say in acting world, like whatever pays your bills, right? Or whatever you're getting cast in is what you're doing,
and you're a writer as well. You've developed different stories.
Yeah. Yes. I wrote something that Donna and I acted in.
Yes, tell us about it. Tell us about it.
So I'm pretty sure actually that whole project was inspired by just having met you. And I don't know how much I'm allowed to like say or reveal here. Can I be super vulnerable and honest?
Be open and honest. That's what we're about here.
So when I first met Donna, I, Skylar, the real person, not just the actress, I lost my mom when I was younger. And I remember when I met Donna, we had kind of bonded over just where we were at in life and just being the kind of women, like you said, who forge your own path and are just really passionate about exploring like what the world has for us. And I just so connected with Donna as a human, and she had mentioned not having a daughter, and I just so felt like what would it be like if these two people forged a kind of a mother-daughter relationship, and if they had to pretend to have that relationship for the sake of like if there were stakes involved. And that kind of inspired me to write that project,
which was called
Bocce Bitches.
Bocce Bitches.
Nice.
And we shot a pilot on that, didn't we?
Did,
and it was
yes.
brilliant, absolutely brilliantly done. And I hope you don't tuck that away too far, because I think you should bring that back, and you should shop it around. I think it would be so much fun. It's such a great premise.
I think it's really, really cool. I gotta admit something. I was in a little something with Summer. She put me on something. Summer Sinclair put me on, and she goes, "This is what it is." I said, "I don't know as far as lines or what you want me to play." And she goes, "Sam, do you think you could play a dead guy?" And I said, "Yeah, I think so." So I went to a movie set with her, and I sat in a chair and just slowly turned around, and looked like a dead guy. And she goes, "Sam, you did that really, really well. We're going to have you in other things." But it was fun to be able to work.
You nailed it. You nailed it.
It was fun to be able to do that with her. It was cool.
Yeah. So, and what clubs are you performing in, Skylar?
So I did a little tour kind of with the World Series of Comedy satellites recently. So I got to go perform up all the way in like the Skyline Comedy Club in Appleton, Wisconsin, and Crackpots in Ohio, and oh my gosh, I'm like I was in Florida, in Sarasota, I can't remember the name down there, and then I did one in Atlanta at the Punchline. So I've just been kind of all over, literally all over. That's more than the Southeast, actually. That's like half the country.
That's like half the country. Like. Yes. So we have to get you back here in Vegas.
I know.
At some point.
And then here in Charlotte, we have the Comedy Zone and Duckworth are the two comedy clubs here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And do they have like open mics and things like that? Like
There's
Wise
not,
Guys?
It's really not like the Wise Guys open mic. I think Duckworth's is starting to do something similar. I have been actively like, you guys, we got to do this, because I've noticed. I mean, this is my 2 cents, right? Like the comedy scene in Vegas is so much better because of stuff like that, and people's ability to like get up and have to focus your material on 3 minutes at a time, whereas out here there'll just be a bar open mic and it'll be like 4 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, and it's like there's people who have no business doing a 7-minute open mic.
Well, they're all getting their start, they're all getting their feet wet, like everybody else, and sometimes you just have to do it just to see if this is for me or not, this type of thing, and
yes.
So we like to encourage everybody, but it's the ones that really have the stick-to-itiveness that keep forging ahead and keep growing and learning, because it really is all a learning experience. Nobody can really.
Totally.
Don't you agree, Sam?
Definitely. And what I was going to say about the World Series of Comedy, I checked it out at the LA Comedy Club, and a few friends of mine got to perform. Matt Andrew, who was on Cougar Listeners, and same with Ray Earl, and they advanced pretty far into it. Justin Tejan was on it, and what I like about the World Series of Comedy is the fact that they're able to pull all those people in. If it's just like a regular showcase, and you're walking through, Las Vegas Strip or wherever the satellites are, and then they go, "Would you like to stay and watch the World Series of Comedy?" It's like, how can you miss that? And I did. I definitely got to see the people that advanced, and I saw the semifinals and the finals. And when I watched it, I was like, no, everybody on this should be on it. They're very, very funny. They're very, very funny.
Well, that type of competitiveness too also sharpens your skills.
Right.
Exactly.
And so and that's really priceless.
It's like when you're standing around comedians that like are really passionate about being professional, it encourages you to keep doing the same thing.
Absolutely. And speaking of open mics, I mean, this gentleman over here, that's the way I met Sam, actually, because Sam, when I first got started, and this is going back now at least 6-7 years now, I mean, it's going back a while, he used to host a Saturday afternoon open mic at Grouchy John's, the coffee shop.
I did that for about 3 years, and people started off grouchy, but since it was a PG mic, it was a G-rated mic, I said, all right, you guys have the gnarly places, the dive bars, the up till 12, 1, 2, and 3 in the morning, but try to put a funny thing on it where you can be creative without being a complete monster into a microphone. And I did this little joke where there was a sugar jar in the corner, and it was silly. It was just like, hey, do they ever refill the sugar jar, or has that just been the same height for the last 3 years, but it ran really well. Parker Ty got to host at that, and so did Mia Moore. They both hosted, and it kept it going for a while. We would pull 17, 25 people to it.
Absolutely. It was very popular on Saturday afternoons. And like I said, I was just getting started.
Right.
I remember the first time I was on, I came to it. I was like a nervous wreck. And you gave me the microphone, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do something here, you know.
When you run something like that, it's like, okay, let's get everybody together, and 5-10 minutes before, half hour before, you're like, okay, 4 people are on the list. Is this worth doing? Is it good? But people start to come in from everywhere, and like really, really good comics, and they're like, no, let's take it as a challenge. And it was a lot of fun. And Melvin Washington Jr., who's in our comedy scene, said this. He goes, he said, Sam, if you host at these mics, I try to guest host at each one, dive, any spot, they say, you're going to get stronger. Skills heads and said all it is the amount of reps you do, stage time. So I was like, okay. And these people that run these rooms, if you say, hey, can I host it for one night or co-host it and bring some people up and be funny in between, they're going to be like, sure, come on out and do that. And especially when all your friends are doing comedy, it's like they need a night off from running these mics as well. So it was good to be able to host those things. It was really, really nice.
Well, Sam, bar none, I think that you were one of the finest hosts that I've ever seen at an open mic. I really do.
Thank you.
You were very generous. You were very kind. You were very supportive. Like I said, especially to a brand new comic coming up, you were like, "Oh, Donna, that was great," and you always made sure I had a spot. And it was just really. I always looked forward to Saturday afternoons, and it was like right before, you go out and you hit the stages on Saturday, so it was a really good timing and really good exercise, to do that.
What was the crowd like on a Saturday coffee shop?
It was
open
right
mic?
across from CSN.
Right.
The
It was across
community
from the
college.
dental place on Charleston. So we would have 17 to 25 comics. Some police officers would come in. People brought their kids. So you had to be funny in front of kids. And then it kind of got a little growing where people would do board games and stuff and look up. And it wasn't a thing where it was like, oh, hey, let's just get our coffee and leave. There's 17 more comics to watch, so stay and spend an afternoon. And if you got nothing to do, it was a lot of fun.
And it was
fun.
really, a lot of times it was a full house,
Yeah,
believe it or
good.
not. Yeah, people would just come in, the students would come in and hang out and have their coffee. Like I said, you could see them working on their projects and looking up and listening to the comics. It was really quick. And then, of course, we got COVID, and then everything kind of crumbled.
But I'll
at
tell
that
you,
point.
every little thing you do with comedy sets you up for the next step. By me doing Grouchy Jones and guest hosting around town, when I met Ace at Wise Guys, I said, these are the 5 or 6, 7 rooms I've hosted, and he was out of Utah from Wise Guys. He's all, Sam, then you're going to be fine hosting this. And now Cassie and Asa over there at Wise Guys will put me on about 7-10 times a year to host their stuff.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
most fun with that is the 7 minutes up top that you do, and then where the work comes in, where the money comes in, is bringing up 54 comics till about 10:30 at night. But it's like, all right, now I'm working, and after you do it about 3 times, you can get the hang of it and show that you're trusted. And when Wise Guys opened up, Evan and Josh Lidauer, all these guys were given opportunities to come in and host and feature for those weekend shows. And it's just amazing. You start out with one little thing, and who knows that you can get 7 things, 10 things, 12 things,
and it just keeps growing. And that's just it. And getting back to Wise Guys at the Arts District, yes, they're going to be closing that location, but the town square is going to remain open. So I think all the activity is going to shift to the Wise Guys in town square, which is a beautiful club, and lots of free parking and all of that. So,
which is very important. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Skylar, what else do you have? Any shows coming up, or any projects? Any acting? Like,
I mean, I
what's
feel
your
like that's
favorite
one of
role?
those favorite role.
What's
That's
your
a
favorite
tough
role
question.
so far, besides being my daughter on Bocce Bitches?
Yeah, exactly. Number one, most important role. I mean, I feel like I have my favorite roles in theater. I've been very lucky to get to do some of the classic Shakespeare roles and play Helena in Midsummer Night's Dream, which was a dream. And then I think in terms of like film, I just recently.
Oh, oops.
And we got her back. No, I don't know if we did.
I don't know. We froze. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see if we can get Skylar back on that one. Yeah, because I was just ready to say, okay, I'm sorry, Skylar. We lost you a little bit there.
Okay. Where did you lose me?
You were on Midsummer Night Dreams.
Yes. Okay. No, but recently I was very excited to actually play Betsy Ross in a film that we produced and shot called Betsy Effing Ross. So it's an untrue story of America's greatest sew job. So it's a historical comedy about how Betsy Ross came to sew the American flag, and it's funny, and it's a feminist version of that story.
Oh, how fun.
And it's something that we're hoping we can kind of take out and do an anthology with, where we can tell different women from history. But that's a project that we did that I'm super proud of, and I'm really excited for the world to get to see that.
Now, were you a writer on this project as well, or?
I did not write it, but I helped produce it. Yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah, I mean, she is like a master of all trades. I mean, she just basically produces, and she acts, and she does stand up and all of that. You know, a real gem.
I know so many opportunities where it's like you kill it at it, and they put you on stuff, and I remember Garrett said, hey, you guys, and he was speaking to all of us, you guys, instead of just coming out to these mics, write something, produce something, you learn how to work the sound, just like all this stuff here that was put together. You got to know how to do a couple of things. Some of my friends are like, okay, you want to have a comedy room, can you do karaoke for us on Tuesday night? So it's like there's a trade-off, but you could definitely get the time in.
Yeah, definitely. And it is. It's very important to be versatile. And I think in any creative industry, don't you agree, Skylar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think even if nothing else, it just gives you respect for how something is made, or like even if you're, like you're saying, Sam, with producing and hosting and doing comedy, like you're starting to think about it from the venue perspective, from the crowd perspective, from the comedian's perspective, from a financial it just allows you to be better at, even if you never did any of that again, you would still take all those lessons and say what made the show worth coming to. And it just allows you to think about things from a very multifunctional perspective. And I think that a lot of talented people, they don't have all the elements of that, and so it can be really helpful when you do, because it just makes you understand more.
Yes, I agree. And I think also with today's technology, it's even easier to do. Because, I mean, just take a look at this format. You know, we upload it to YouTube. People go on at any time. They can just hit the button and see the show. And then also in terms of distribution, you know, the different channels online that you can get it distributed through. It's just phenomenal compared to what somebody had to do, say, like 20, 30 years ago, you know, just to even get to this point. So there's just so much opportunity. There really is. And it just keeps growing.
Donna, to add something to that, I'm always late to the party. I just recently bought season 1 of Yellowstone on DVD, and I watched the full season, and then I watched the behind the scenes with Taylor Sheridan. And the thing is exactly what Skylar was saying is, what I really enjoy about it is all the good people that you get to work with, where it's like, okay, you could just be solo, and comedy is a lot of the time where you're doing your own thing, but to work with all those different talented people, it's extra, and it makes it a lot more fulfilling with any project you do.
Right, and you get a greater exchange of ideas as well this way. You know, and that's why I'm very excited about your project with your girlies. What is that called again? The girlies? Group chat girlies. I mean, just even something like that can help generate, you know, so much interaction and new thought processes and new directions. And that's what you need in the creative field. There's always an opening. There's really no ending. You know, there's no succinct
agree.
ending, you know, beginning, middle, end. It doesn't. It just keeps going as long as you can think, as long as you can imagine.
There's no end. Yeah.
Right.
Wait, Sam, you used to have a DVD player?
Yeah, I
Today?
do. Yeah, I do. So I went on this kick where I found this guy that sold about 300 different DVDs, and my kids laugh at me. And I buy, you know, we bought a zoo, and then my son said, "Dad, why would you buy this movie?" And I said, "It gets worse than that. I've bought this movie 3 different times where it's like, all right, you know you have it, so just watch it once and be done." And yeah, no, it's just, I try to like pick apart the stories and say, okay, where were they going with this? How do you do it? And I watch it differently than most people, but I'm like, if it's just me, that's how I like to do it.
That's a great fun fact. We bought a zoo 3 different times.
Right? Yeah, no, definitely.
No, and that it's on a DVD. That's a whole other.
Yes.
That's a whole other thing. Well, you know what? I have got to get to announcing our sweepstakes winners. By the way, because we're running out of time. This is going by so fast. This is amazing. So just hold tight just for a second. I just want to tell our listeners out there, our viewers out there, when you subscribe to the channel, okay, you will automatically be entered into our summer sweepstakes giveaway. And there's no cost to subscribe and there's no purchase necessary. You'll just automatically be entered to win. And each week we're going to pick 2 winners, okay, for that will receive $50 certificates to our online merch store at CougarLicious.com. As you can see on the screen now, we have wine glasses, we have coffee mugs, we've got T-shirts, we've got crop tops, we've got ladies lingerie, little panties there, and we've got tote bags and all kinds of fun stuff. So each one of our winners is going to receive a $50 certificate for that online store. And this week's winners are, let's see, oh my God, Rob from Georgia and Mary Lou from Arizona. Oh my goodness. You know, we have, thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Woohoo. Yes. So excited. You know, we have got subscribers from all over. I've got them from Florida, California, Connecticut, Minnesota, New York, Georgia, and Arizona. Unbelievable. So just keep it coming in. We just love you for it. I'm so appreciative for all of you. And once again, I want to thank our sponsors, Linder Health Skincare. That's healthcare for your skin. Be sure to look them up at linderhealth.com/Donna. You'll get a free gift. And I think that's about it. I really would like to thank our guest, Skylar. Thank you so much for dropping in from North Carolina. Just love you. Can't wait to see you in Las Vegas. You can't
Me
wait.
too.
You just get here as fast as you can.
I know.
Skylar, it was nice seeing you.
And
Nice to
Sam,
meet you.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for the platform. This is nice. It's good just to sit next
just
to you.
sit and just chat and just hang out and go back on different memories.
And we'll probably
huh?
see each other Wednesday over at the Wise Guys.
That's right. That's
We
right.
will.
I'm in the lineup.
Nice.
Yes,
nice.
I am. And so that's it for today, everybody. So long.
Perfect.
Cougarlicious, in my power I rise with every step I take. I light up the skies, celebrating me. I'm a star shining bright, enjoying all the eye candy under the moonlight. Oh, Cougarlicious, watch me take my stand, grooving to the beat. Come and take my hand.
Hey, gang. Donna Joy here to tell you about our summer sweepstakes starting now. Just hit the like, share, and subscribe button and be sure to leave a comment. And beginning in June, we'll be drawing names to win special gift certificates at our online store at www.cougarlicious.com. It's a great way to support the channel, and I have much appreciation for all of you. Thank you, and remember to Cougar on.